Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Tyrone back with Tech Life. And I wanted to focus in a bit more on this light reading article. I think it's a great article. For those of you who haven't seen it, I will leave a link to it in the description so you guys can check it out. So this is in regards to AT&T hitting a 6-year high as it ramps up Open RAN. This is on a CapEx, capital perspective, CapEx surge is what's being put out there. And this is for a second half of an annual year. So it does look like, per the numbers that were presented at the Q2 earnings, looking at Q1 and Q2's capital spend, that spend was down. It was down a bit. So now their guided annual capex is around 22 billion. So if you go from the total capex from Q1 and Q2, they're going to spend a lot in Q3 and Q4 to get to that 22 billion capex. So the guidance indicates that AT&T could invest up to 12.5 billion in the last 6 months of 2024 as it switches from Nokia to Ericsson. Like I said, Q3, Q4. Now this is in regards to Nokia markets. About 28,000 towers that need to be ripped, that need to be replaced with Ericsson equipment. That starts at the baseband unit and then all the way on to the top of the site with the radios, panels, cabling, whatever coax cabling, all that's going to get ripped. And then everything is going to be replaced with Ericsson equipment. Now, the problem with that is for areas that are Nokia, this has to happen relatively quick. If you look at the percentage of where AT&T may want to be by the end of 2026, right? I think it's higher than the 80% now. I'm thinking they want to finish this by the end of 2026. As crazy as that sounds, but that has to be the goal because you don't want this to linger on. Like I mentioned in a previous video, the quicker they get this done, the faster they start realizing the financial benefits on the balance sheet. Vendor financing down, everything from that perspective. So this is going to cause, in my opinion, this is going to cause service interruptions because they can't just do this on a site-by-site basis. And I want you guys to understand that. They can't do it on a site-by-site basis and get to a high percentage of completion by the end of 2026. They have to do this from what I've seen on an actual spreadsheet. AT&T has to do this in clusters. They have to touch like 6, 7, 8 sites at one time and do the rip and replace. We're not just talking about an upgrade. We're talking about a rip and replace. This is going to cause service interruption at scale in Nokia markets. How bad remains to be seen. Right, you got neighboring sites that can fill in some. So for some, it might not be as bad. Right, you might still experience a slowdown, but you'll still have service. You'll still be able to make calls, stuff like that. But there's going to be other areas where site spacing is an issue. You're going to be hanging on to one bar for dear life because your home site is down, and then that's when the issues present themselves. So every case is going to be really market dependent. But I think overall, for the most part, most of you are likely to experience some type of service interruption. And I wanted to point that out and emphasize that in this video as this Nokia to Ericsson conversion project is really ramping up. It's going to ramp up big time. Trust me. You're going to start seeing those Nokia panels flying off sites and Ericsson going up at far greater scale. You're going to start seeing it. I've already been told in the Upper Peninsula in Michigan, they're already ripping sites up there from Nokia to Ericsson. Ohio is a big one. The boroughs of New York City. I mean, they're gonna do this very, very quickly. And they're going to, I've also been told, if other projects are put on hold, there's some red tape, it's going to be delayed, whatever, they're going to funnel those resources back into the Nokia to Ericsson conversions. They're going to want to get this done as fast as possible. So If you and your market see a slowdown in upgrades, maybe CRAN, if you're in an Ericsson market, that's likely because your capital for your market has been funneled back into the Nokia Ericsson conversions. I have been told this is going to take up majority of resources. It's going to be a priority for the company. That's how serious they are on getting this done. So AT&T didn't lie when it said it would reduce its exposure to vendor financing, a curious practice whereby a telco supplier loans money for the rollout of its own products. In the first quarter of 2023, vendor financing accounted for nearly a third of the 6.4 billion AT&T poured into capital investment, or 2.1 billion. But the contribution shrank to 1.6 billion in the subsequent 3-month period and had dwindled to just 600 million in the recent second quarter. The operator's latest results show. Unfortunately for vendors, AT&T has not made up the difference. So again, like I said, they're looking to get this done as quickly as possible so they can reap the benefits on the balance sheet. So the CapEx surge. There were, however, some positive indicators in the vendors' own second quarter results. Ericsson reported a 15% increase in North America to 16.6. Of course, I mean, they're going to take on most of the business. And then Nokia is up 4%, so they're getting some type of deals somewhere else across the globe. So, like I said, we remain on track for capital investment in the 21 to 22 billion range for the year, with higher spending in the back half of the year as we ramp our wireless network modernization, said Pascal, AT&T Chief Financial Officer. The wireless network modernization in this context is code for Ericsson deal. So that's going to receive a lot of capital, man. I'm telling you guys right now, I've seen the documents, I've seen spreadsheets. This is probably going to be a faster rip and replace than even T-Mobile putting N41 on its sites, and that was pretty quick. So this is going to be all hands on deck, I'm told. Importing tower climbers from other countries, I'm hearing, to be put on this project. They don't want any red tape or hold up. So if there's tower climbers that they can't get in certain markets, they will import tower climbers from Mexico and other countries to get this done. That's how serious they are about the speed and scale of which this project will take place. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like, share, subscribe if you're new. Follow my social media outlets. This is Tyrone with Tech Life, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.